How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to the movie review, aka after I saw review video for today. This time for this new episode for this series is going to be my review on the 2023 fantasy heist comedy film, and this film is also based on the popular board game as well, and that is of course Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Now, this is directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley, and this tells the story of a charming thief and a group of unlikely adventurers in which they embark on an epic quest to retrieve a lost relic, but things go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. So that's pretty much the whole plot synopsis I can say for Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Now, when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons for myself, I've heard it's considered one of the most popular RPG board games ever, but in all honesty, I've never really played the game myself because I'm not really a board game person myself and all that. I'm mostly a video game person myself and all that. But from all of that, we've had a few movie adaptations that's based off that board game, which I've never seen any of them before. But from what I've heard, they were received very poorly from both critics and audiences and all that. But from all of that, I heard a couple of years that we were going to get a newer movie adaptation for the big screen that's based off that popular board game. And when I heard about it, I was a little bit curious and all that because I didn't even know where this one was going to land for myself and all that. But once I saw the trailers for this movie, I was actually looking forward to this film and all that from basically the way it looked and all that. And I was very surprised to see who was the stars of the film. You've got a talented cast in this film such as Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Regé-Jean, Justice Smith, Sophia, Lillis, and Hugh Grant. And I was really intrigued to see what they were going to do for this movie, as well as for the directors of this film, because I was really surprised who was directing this film, which this film was directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley, whom these two guys made a really fun movie back in 2018 called Game Night, which I really enjoyed that film, and I had a lot of fun with that movie as well. So I was really surprised to see that they were making a big movie that's based off a popular board game and all of that. And I did see this film on the opening day, which was on the 31st of March of this year. And the screening that I was in, there was a fair amount of people in the screening that I was in, but there wasn't really much of a full house, though. But after watching this whole movie, I gotta say here, guys, that I generally had a lot of fun with Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, because this movie was indeed awesome here. And I can also say as well, this is indeed another one of my favorite films of 2023 here, you guys. For the cast who are in this movie, in which, like I said, you've got Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Regé-Jean, Justice Smith, Sophia, Lillis, and Hugh Grant, I thought all these people were absolutely terrific in this film, and yet they are very fun for the most part as their characters. And I loved what they were given for themselves in this film, in which they have their own materials to them. And I thought their materials in this film was very interesting and made myself more invested with these characters as I was watching this film along the way. And the direction from both Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daley was absolutely fantastic. They did a fantastic job with this film because it's a gorgeous looking film, from the set to the costumes to everything else that's been shown up on screen. And I love what they also put into this film, in which what they put into this film is charm. And I loved how they managed to put a whole lot of that in this film, and they managed to focus a whole lot of that, because for the last two films that came out this year, which were Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and Shazam! Fear of the Gods, both of those films didn't really have much charm to them, which that was my biggest issues I did have with both of those films. But luckily, this film isn't anything like that, like anything like that, because like I said, this film has a lot of charm to it. Like this film has a lot of action, it has humor, and it also has a bit of heart to it as well, which I found that very surprising. And when it comes to the action in this film, I thought the action in this film was really fun and exciting, especially towards the finale of the film, which I thought the finale of this film was really awesome. And when it comes to the humor in this film was absolutely funny. There's a good amount of comedic jokes in this film, and there was never a moment where it has a cringe-worthy moment when it comes to its humorous moments in this film. And when it comes to the heart of the film, like I said, I found it very surprising. There's a good amount of heartfelt moments in this film, which I thought were very strong in this film, when we see some characters provide some of those moments like that in this film. And the effects in this film were really great as well, especially for the creatures that we see in this film. Like there's one involving an owl bear and some other creatures that we see in this film, which I thought all of that looked great. Even though when it comes to moments like that, there are times where there are some noticeable CGI in this film, which that's one of my nitpicks I do have with this film, but still though, the effects for the most part are still great nonetheless. And the pacing for this film was very well paced, since this film is only 2 hours and 14 minutes. This film never tends to drag on or anything like that, because this film manages to get straight to the point, and there was never a moment where I started to lose interest in the slightest overall, because like I said, I was just generally having a lot of fun with this movie from beginning to end here. So overall, in the end, guys, Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, this movie was indeed a lot of fun here, guys. And like I said, this is definitely another one of my favorites of this year. And there are a few ways I could recommend this film. If you're a huge fan of Dungeons & Dragons or you're a fan of the cast, this is one you don't want to miss out for yourselves here. And if it is still playing at a local cinema near you, I highly suggest you see this one with either your best friends or your family. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. I'm going to give Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves 4.5 out of 5. Yep, like I said, this movie was indeed a lot of fun here. And like I said, this is definitely another one of my favorites this year. And I can also say as well, this is definitely another really good surprise that has came out this year, along with other movies that came out this year that also tend to be really good surprises as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. And let me know what you think of this movie, if you have seen this already or if you just recently checked out this film. Did you have a lot of fun with this or you're very disappointed with this? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.